Interesting definition of sample on that one.
That's how I sample biscuits and
That's
gravy.
what I call copyright infringement.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's definitely all 3 strikes in one.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to start the music anyway, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we say. And go.
Here. Are you guys ready? How about now?
How about now?
How about now?
Everybody, welcome to This Checks Out.
I used it confidently all week.
Welcome to That Checks Out with Damon and Ted. I am Ted. That makes him Damon. Damon, how was your week? I traveled again.
Yeah?
New York, and I want to tell you the story before I forget.
Yeah.
You were talking about going trick-or-treating on the way here, and you were talking about how you were with kids, with kids of your friends. So they were like, and they were
having a hard time
behind,
keeping the pace. Yeah.
So I said that, like, my daughter was behind me in New York. We're in Times Square, like one of the most densely populated area of weirdos, right?
Right.
And I said, if you're going to walk behind me, which you continue are doing, if someone touches you, grabs you, does anything, you need to scream, because I'm tired of looking back and saying, like, you're just there, like, 18 paces behind me. Please get in front of me. Never happened. But then there were a couple of times where I would slow down to talk to my daughter, and then she would slow down to a stop. And I was like, no, keep going.
Yeah, mouth can move too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated. I'd be like, hey, I just need to tell you that we're going to turn in 2 blocks, but you don't want to be seen with your dad. So you're hanging out back there. So then I would slow down, and then they would stop. And I was like, stop stopping.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense because that's what you've done to me now. Stop stopping. Just keep going.
Yeah.
And then later on, all 3 of us, Tina, and we were walking, and she did the same thing. I'm like, just keep walking.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to tell you something as we're continuing on. Because in New York, if you stop, you're dead.
Right.
You will just be absorbed into the humanity,
Yeah.
and then no one will ever see you again.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know who's not stopping? Everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, that was funny. We were talking about that on the way in when I was telling you. Yeah, I had trick-or-treaters that just didn't keep up.
Yeah,
they didn't keep up.
So
So,
it was just so it was like, no, like I didn't want you to slow down more.
yeah. So, hey, I do want to, I got a cool story this week around Chuck. All right?
Bro.
Yeah, Chuck, bro. So, Chuck's in charge of laundry at my house. Okay?
Yes. We've discussed this before.
We have discussed this.
Why sometimes you don't have clean underwear. And
Correct, or anything. So I did tell him, here's the thing. Now, you know, what's the worst thing to fold in a house, generally, besides underwear, is socks.
Oh, I was going to say fitted sheets, but socks will go.
Yeah,
Oh, socks because you have to find them and pair them up and all that.
Right. So anyway.
What?
So I never have socks. That's my big
Mac,
thing.
if you put in a family of 4, if you put all their laundry in at once,
Oh, yeah.
and then you try to put socks together.
Yeah.
You put your socks together?
No, I don't. I wash all my stuff separately because I actually wear stuff on a daily basis, you know.
Right.
There are entire laundry baskets of my wife's and my kids' socks scattered around my house because they don't feel like digging out their socks and pairing them up.
Yeah. I've literally gone through
Also,
baskets.
for some reason, no one throws away socks in my house. So there are socks that like
Yes.
babies can still wear,
Yeah.
toddlers can still wear, infants can still wear, but my kids are 19 and 17.
Yeah.
So those socks
Well, they're at that
no
age.
longer worked with any humans in my house, but they're still in a laundry basket somewhere from probably when they were toddlers.
But here's the deal, Matt, because you don't have that many in your house. But so we have 4. Okay, we have 4 people in our house. I can tell you right now, if I go to the basket of clean socks, I think my record is 11. I can pull out 11 socks in a row and not have a match.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Again,
11
that's this obsession with matching.
Now, here's the thing. Well, let's not get into your weirdness. That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
But you will pull out 11 socks. 7 of those will be very similar. To the point
Yes.
where it'll have gray on it, but one will say Hanes and one won't. And
Yeah.
you're like, and one will be like 3/4 length, but one will be like ankle size. And you're like, why? Why is this the same at the foot, but not at the
Yeah,
at
one will
the
have a
leg?
rim at the top and one
Yeah.
won't. It'll just be the vertical stripes going up and down. You're like, oh, okay. So
And,
yeah,
and Mac, you want to know why? Because I wear matching socks. That's why.
correct. Yeah, because I'm an adult in my mid-40s.
Seems like you're creating a lot of
No,
problems
I
for
can't say,
yourself.
I can't say that because right now I'm wearing Mario Christmas socks. But they're both the same socks.
But they do match.
They do match.
They do match.
Yeah.
So one is not Zelda. Okay.
But in my defense, I waited until after Halloween to pull out the Mario Christmas socks.
There you go. There you go. So anyway, so Chuck's in charge of this, right? So I come downstairs, and granted, they're finishing up their football season. He's got stuff going on. I get it. He's not doing laundry, even more than he normally doesn't do laundry. Like you got to get on him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Mac,
mean?
Just so you know, if anyone is not doing a chore in Damon's house,
Yeah.
Damon goes from his already normal 11 to 1,011.
Yeah. Yeah. I can take it up a peg or two. You know, I've been known. So
These dishes have been dirty for 8 minutes.
So I tell
My
him,
God!
so I tell him, I'm getting ready to take him to school, and I go, hey, I need socks. And I told him, I said, I have no socks. And he goes, Well, I wouldn't say, yeah, there you go, Mac. Nice picture of a basket of socks. So, but
match socks, are they a red flag or an indicator of emotional maturity?
yeah, well, I'm emotionally immature, so it's probably what it is. But I literally tell my kid, I go, I got no clean socks. And he smirks at me and he goes, I wouldn't say you got no clean socks, Dad.
Wow.
And I go, what? And he goes, what do you need? Like he's my hookup.
Yeah.
And I go, I want black no-show socks. He goes, I got you. He comes down with a pair folded, ready to go, hands them to me. And I go, what? And he goes, let's just say, you wear a lot of socks unnecessarily. He goes, I've kind of made it to where I meter your socks. That's what he tells me. And he goes, that night he gets home, I go, I have no shorts. I have no shirts. So he does laundry, puts them all in my room.
So he's been holding them back?
He's been holding them back because first off, he probably folds them as needed. Like I needed them socks. He ran upstairs, boom, boom, boom. He's downstairs, right? But he's the gatekeeper. He's waiting for Zool, the keymaster or whatever, he's the gatekeeper of the socks because he says I abuse my sock privilege and I will wear 2 pairs in one day. Well, yes, if I do outside work and then come in and shop, I will. So he believes that I need my socks metered differently. Okay. So, but he smirks. He goes, I wouldn't say you don't have clean ones like that. He goes, he does laundry the next night because I get on him. He puts all this stuff on my bed. Ted, he gives me 1 pair of each of my socks. So like there's long black socks, there's black no-show, there's white no-show, whatever different socks I have 1 pair of each. I come down the next morning, I go, I still don't have any socks. He goes, no, you have 1 pair of each. I know you do. I put them on your bed.
Wow. This is why I do my own laundry. Because if anyone played that game with me, I don't know I could count high enough to not lose it.
Yeah. So I looked at him.
Does he fold all the underwear in the house?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He does all laundry.
I see where you're going with that, Mac.
Sorry, Chuck.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Mac put on a thing about, are you worried about matching socks for interview? No one cares. Mac, I don't wear matching socks for other people. I wear them for myself.
Yeah, it's a sense of pride.
No, that's not that. I just don't
I got it right.
That's what you got to be
My
proud
feet
about.
can tell if it's 2 different socks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they can too. You're right.
Why do they care?
I don't like it.
Because my feet care. First off, you know what my feet do for me? They haul around this, okay?
Yeah.
So the least I can do is make sure they look as nice as possible, which they don't. They're horrendous when they're out of the socks. But anyway, make them look as nice as possible, dress them up in nice clothes, and take them out stuff, okay? That's what you do. So no, I like my stuff to match. I definitely do. But I just thought it was funny that he was like, no, I got him. I got you. So this is the same kid that when he needs his uniform the other day, I said, you got your uniform to go to his last game? He goes, yeah. I said, cool. We're all good. He goes, yeah. And they were doing a blackout, but they did white pants, black jerseys. I said, okay, whatever. So he calls me right before they get dressed for the game. And I go, what'd you forget? He goes, nope, listen, not me. He goes, Jeremy forgot his white pants at home. And he goes, can you bring him here? Because his younger sister's home. So I have to drive to his house. I still got wardrobe malfunctions. It's not even in my house.
You have to go talk to a young female child and be like, I need some pants.
Yeah. Well, it's the same one that wasn't keeping up on Halloween walking.
I knew that. But the people in the
right.
in the audience didn't know.
Right. I need a pair of pants from your house. But so yeah, I got those and run them over to the school. But so it's funny that even he's in charge of laundry. He got all his stuff. So, he always has clothes. The rest of us don't.
So it's talking about preparation.
Yeah.
And going back to my original story. So we've known about this New York trip for months.
Yeah.
The car has pulled up because it's through Tina's work. Like everything's being paid for.
Okay.
There's a car to drive us, which is
a livery service.
I cannot tell you how, if you can afford it or you can work it out.
Yeah.
Get a car to pick you up and take you home from the airport. It is.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Amazing. Anyway, cars in the driveway. Supposed to be there at 7:45. 7:44 cars there. Tina is not ready. That is not the shocking part of the story. She's like, do you have any room in your toiletry thing? And I'm like, yeah, I got plenty of room. Why? She's like, just throw it anywhere in the suitcase. She's like, well, but we're not checking any bags. That was the first time I was told we weren't checking bags. Now, see, since you don't fly, you don't know this. You can't take certain things through the TSA check in your carry-on. That stuff has to go in your check bag. So if you're not checking a bag,
you can't bring that
your
stuff.
Your carry-on has to have, it cannot have that stuff in it. I have a full bag packed with stuff that I didn't think, I thought it was just going in the bottom of the plane. We're dropping it off at the counter on the way in. I don't have to worry about it. Guys in the driveway, I just found out. Well, long story short, we're paying for my bag to be checked. So suddenly all this stuff can go in it. I go out. The guy's now waiting. It's now 10 to 8. And I walk out. Well, I see him coming out. He was just politely standing by, like he opened the lift gate. He's just standing back there. I can see him start walking towards the house. I walk out. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. My wife's still running a little bit late, but let me bring you this luggage. So I come out. My daughter comes out. We put our stuff in, and he's like, is there any more luggage? I'm like, yeah, my wife's luggage. Like, did you think this is my wife? This is my 17-year-old daughter. Gross, sir. Gross.
Yeah.
But then also, it's like 5 to 8. We're supposed to be picked up at quarter. And it's like, this is the thing that drives me nuts. When it's you making me late, I'm upset. When it's you making someone else late, so now that guy's got to stress.
It's frustration.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because now I'm upset for this guy. I don't know how that guy's feeling, but now I'm in trouble because I'm like,
he's in control of getting you there.
Right.
So now if he's panicked, you don't want him driving the vehicle that you're in.
Yeah.
You know.
Which Oklahoma City, I know we're going back to last week.
Yeah.
The TSA there, boom, right through.
Yeah.
LaGuardia, last time I was there, when we were over there in April or May or whatever, March, I don't know, it was earlier this year. I got sent to the right line. They got sent to the left line. They went through like maybe in 40 minutes, which is still a long time. I was 90 minutes to 2 hours in the security line.
Yeah.
This time, I didn't even have like, I'm like, hey, I still have this stuff. Like, they don't care. Just go through. Like literally it was that quick. I dropped my bag off. We walked to security. I had my shoes on and back off within 30 seconds. That's how quick. I was like,
really?
This is amazing. Yeah. Fly out on Saturday. Fly out on Sunday. It was a nightmare.
Hey, see, planning.
But we go to this hotel
Preparation.
that no one has ever been in before.
Okay.
And you have to go to.
Wait, so it's brand new, or you've never been there?
No, like no one in our party has ever been there. I assume a hotel in the middle of Times Square. People have been there.
They cut the ribbon, and you guys walk in.
Literally, it was like, hey, we can go in now, right? Well, yeah, we had a whole ceremony back here, but there's a theater. This is where we saw Beetlejuice. I posted online where we saw Beetlejuice. So we're there. So the theater and like the conference rooms are the first 7 floors. So the lobby isn't until floor 8. But there's nowhere that says that. It just says elevators to lobby here. You get there. We go in and like you have to go to 8. You go to 8. You get your stuff. Then you have to get a card that lets you go to the other floors. So the learning curve in this hotel is pretty steep. So the next day,
you got 8 floors of stuff that can go wrong.
Yeah, well, you can go in and take an escalator, a different escalator up to 8 if you have to. You can just go into the thing. You can go to 8. You can go to any floor before 8 without needing a card, but 9 and above you need a card. So if you accidentally hit 4, you're out and you're like, "What's this?
Yeah.
Do I talk to Beetlejuice to get like checked in? Like, what am I doing?"
Wow, this is amazing.
So the next day, there's a huge learning curve. But I now know that. But then as people are coming in, they're like kind of messing around. I'm like, hey, and I'm coming in from the street. I'm like, hey, you just got to go up to 8. When the doors open, you leave. And then it's a circular pod of elevators. I'm like, go to the front of the circle where and then turn right and then another right. And you'll be at the front desk. So the door opens. She starts going left. And I was like, no, you got to go through the only opening. If you go this way, it's just going to be a big circle till you get back to the opening again. She's like, okay. She gets to the opening. She starts going left again. I'm like, so now like the elevator doors are closing and my neck's out. I'm like, no, to the right.
Yeah.
To the right. And
your other left.
She's like, do you work here? And as the doors close, I'm like, no, I have no. You can tell she's panicked.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It was like, so if you can only leave one way when you call the elevator, you'd think you stand to the side where people don't have to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you go out and you have to go to the left, go to the front of the circle, or if you're around the circle and you have to go to the right, stand to the other side. Nope. Everyone would come in, would just stand there. So the elevator would open, the people would come out and they'd have nowhere to go. And then I'd be just like, really? You guys have been here all day. You haven't figured this out that the only way in and out of this pod of elevators is through the whole door that's behind you? Get on the other side. Get on the other side. And I wanted I wish all of you were my mom and I could just roll you out of the way.
Yeah. This luggage talks. It's pretty crazy. You reminded me of something, though. When you give somebody directions, we used to play a game when I was younger with a buddy of mine. We'd be in a car in a busy area. Most of the time, we were in like Orland on 45 or, or right around there.
Yeah,
by
for
the
those
mall.
of you that don't know that in other countries and states, it's basically
4-lane.
it's a 4-lane road that was one of those where every light has 1,000 stores and 1,000 like offshoot roads and stuff. Yeah.
So our favorite game was like, say we'd be going to the Hooters there. Okay. So we would know we're going to the left 3 blocks up. Okay. Somebody have their window down next to us. We'd have the radio up. We turn the radio down. We ask for directions for something on the right-hand side of the road.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this person gives you directions. It's all stoplights. You're going to be side by side all the way up to that point. Now we get up to the second or third light where we're turning left. We're in the left turn lane. We got the radio up. And most of these people, they got their window back down. They're screaming, no, they're yelling. You just look at them and you're bopping your head. You're like, yeah, thumbs up. You're giving them thumbs up. And we did this all the time. And you're right. When somebody gives you directions, they feel like they are responsible that you get to your destination.
Because you're right. I should have just been like, hey, you come out of the elevator, you go out of this pod, and you turn right and right. And that should have been it. It should have been the end of the conversation.
Right.
If you can't figure that out, like you go to the only exit out of this area of elevators, turn right, and you start going left, that's on you.
But your internal workings said that you are now responsible for them finding that.
Yeah.
And so you're hollering to them. And again, they weren't playing a game with you. They were just stupid. Okay? They were just dumb.
Well, this other woman's the same thing in the elevator, and she's like, "Are you a trustee?" And I was like, "I don't even know what that is." She goes, and I tell Tina the story, and she's like, "That's what I am. That's why we're here." And I was like, "I'm just the trophy husband. I have no idea. I'm just here for the free trip."
Are you a trustee? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I was like, you can see the look of the lady's face was like, "Why is this dude
I'm
here?"
gonna be laying in bed with one in a little while. I have no idea. I had no idea that that's what she was.
Great. Like, that's what I am. That's why we're here. Oh, cool. No idea.
I've done that so many times. And was she embarrassed?
Yeah, she was just like, oh,
mortified.
Because I was on one of the floors. Like I had gotten on one of the floors. I don't think I was supposed to be. I think it was one of the meeting.
So they
floors.
probably bricked these floors, right?
Yeah,
like
well, it definitely was a conference room floor.
Right,
but I was just walking around, just checking it out. I was like, "Oh, you trustee? Nope, no idea what you're talking about." I'm a podcaster and a part-time.
I'm barely trustworthy.
I'm a part-time comedian. It was funny. Like I worked at a movie theater in college. No one likes a bragger. I get it.
Yeah.
But we were the bargain house. But we were one block ish away from like the full theater, and people would come in like, "Oh, this is not the theater," and they'd be like, "No." And if they were nice, I'd be like, "Okay, well, you just go down this road, turn right, and you'd be right there." If they were dicks, I would go like, "Okay, you go down this road," and I would make them make 4 lefts.
Right, yeah.
And then they would get there. Like you could literally get out of that theater, turn around, and look through the field and see us across the thing.
Yeah.
Because I could just say to the people too, "Yeah, you see those big lights over there? Just head towards that. That's the other theater." But literally, I would just be like, "Yeah, you come on here, hang a left, go a mile, hang a left, go another mile, hang a left, go another mile, hang a left." No, they wouldn't figure out like, wait, is that just like an open square? Yeah, it pretty much is.
When you drive by here again, you're going to be going the right way.
Yeah. When you get to the end, just look over here. I'll be out here giving you the 2-finger salute.
Yeah. But again, I think it's people's nature when they give you advice. Like, you ever notice that you give somebody, you're like, "Hey, you should watch this show." Okay, you've probably done it to me, and then I watch. I'm like, "Yeah, I watched 6 minutes of it. I didn't like it," and you're like, "Yeah, whatever. You're a scumbag."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've gotten to the point where if I recommend, "Hey, watch this," did you watch it? No. All right. Like,
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I know that I don't care anymore.
But it used to
yeah.
irk people to their core.
But did you get to episode 15? It gets really good at episode 15.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me episodes 1 through 14 are garbage.
You're telling me 14 hours of my life is building to episode 15.
Can I skip to episode 15?
Yeah. No, you can't. It's all. If you get to episode 15 without watching 12, you're totally lost.
First off, you know what you do? You skip them all. You go to the newest one that just came out, and then you call that person knowing they didn't see it. You're like, "Can you believe this happened?"
So we saw Beetlejuice, and it was in the theater. Like the theater was in the hotel, like I said. And so there's all these people coming from the street and other hotels and everything, and they're trying to like get to the elevators to go down, and we're in the elevators to go up, and it's glass elevators. And I'm just watching all these people, and I look on the way. Excuse me. Get in the elevator and just watch us go up. And I'm just watching those people like look at me like that son of a bitch. He is literally 30 seconds from his room.
He's so close.
Every minute of it.
He's so close. But he's not a trustee. We found that out earlier when we asked him in the
Wait,
hallway.
he's going to the trustee floors. Get that guy.
Imposter. No.
Oh, we went to a restaurant.
Nobody likes a bragger.
Before we were going to go see our this was an off-Broadway play, so it's not as much of a brag. And we're like, it's 10 to 6. And we're like, we have a play at 7. It's around the corner, but we're in a hurry. Oh, no problem. That's fine. Now, Tina usually does not get upset at restaurants. Usually just lets everything go. I'm the one who's like, we ordered 8 minutes ago. Where's my food?
Right. Yeah.
It's like 6:20, and the guy has brought food out to the people that have ordered after us. And she's like, "Hey, we have a show, and we told you that. Let me go check on it." Goes checks on it. I see him again at 6:30. He starts, and they put us outside. I post a picture of that.
Yeah.
This is where you told me to have the jerk chicken, which I'd already ordered that. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And he comes out, and you can see him come out, and he goes, "Ooh," sees us, and like ducks right back outside.
I got to find them guys' food.
Finally, Tina pops up, walks down, and then she's like, "We got to go." And he's like, "But it's on the way out." And she's like, "I don't care." But it's on the way out. She's like, "I don't care," and we just walked away. So all that. Look, I'm eating outside in New York in October. None of it happened.
Yeah,
I sat outside for wasted 45 minutes in October.
So you did get the chicken jerk.
I got jerked around for sure. I got the jerked around chicken.
Hey, so while you were gallivanting all over the country,
I was in 4 planes.
Huh?
Your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
4 different planes. One there, one back, one there, one back. That's
Yeah,
two
and
trips,
they
4
all
points.
made it safe. It's
I know.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. The statistics.
I would have
are-
thought
the
math was on my
statistics
side.
were not in your favor.
Yeah, I would have thought math would have been on my side. So anyway, I watched Treadflix.
All right.
I'm flipping through, and we're talking about like picking up a show or a series. There's a show on there called I Am a Stalker. There's I Am a Killer. So they talk to people on death row or whatever, or people that committed murders. But this is I Am a Stalker. This is when the preview pops up. If you do yourself a favor, go on Netflix, scroll over it, and you'll hear a guy who is very intelligent, as you can tell by the way he talks. But this is his quote. I never knew what that word meant, so I looked it up. It means
Stalker?
Yeah. It says it means 2 or more unwanted visits. So I definitely did that. This is what he said, right? Then he says, I've got like 13 felony charges, but only 5 of them stuck because I'm good at getting out of stuff. That's what he says. So you're good at getting out of stuff besides like bushes, yards, you know what I mean? People's back seats. I mean, what are you doing? I don't know if I can bring myself to watch the show.
Here's what he did. He put the GPS on the trailer.
Yeah.
Not on the tractor.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Which shows he's still in the yard.
We found the ham.
Yeah.
We just don't know who brought it here. We found the ham.
Oh, wow.
But how do you? But when he says, "So I definitely did that," you know, it's like okay. First off,
Yeah, I thought them arresting me was BS, and then I looked it up and like, no, it turns out,
yeah,
I had definitely
they
done
were
that.
spot on. They probably missed a couple. They could have got me for, you know.
At least 2.
But then to brag and
Yeah.
be like, I got like 13 felony charges, only 5 of them stuck.
I like how you've burned through so much Treadflix, and now you're on. Do I watch the creepy stalker show? I got nothing left.
Well, here's what I figure: if I could envision him behind me, maybe I'd go faster on the treadmill. You follow what I'm saying?
That's
So
true.
maybe I could figure something out. But no, I was laughing so hard because it's like, how do you put yourself out there that this is? And
Yeah,
again,
hey, we had an appeal for you, buddy, but you said on Treadflix that you actually did that, so they threw it out. So
Yeah.
the technicality we were going to get you off on, you got to go back in.
yeah. So it's like what is from Seinfeld, Jackie Childs. That's his, what do you mean put the ball on? Who put the ball on? You know, it's like what are you doing?
Good news, bad news. People are watching your episode.
Yes, you were highly touted.
Bad news
Yeah.
is those people are the justice system.
You know your peers, they get Netflix and they're now the jury.
Yeah.
They understand. The other thing I wanted to point out, you remember a long time ago, we talked about those road flares that had magnets on them and stuff. And like they were bragging about how these were like the best road flares. You could run them over with a fire truck
Right,
and all stuff, right?
Right.
And we're like, screw that. I just want
Were
the
these
magnets.
like infomercials?
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, this thing, it comes back up. And I thought it was the same thing, but it looks a little different. It's called lizard flares. Okay. But here, it's the same thing. They show a truck driver, and then my favorite part is at the end. They go, "These are limited time only. When they're gone, they're gone." Well, yeah, when anything's gone, it's gone.
Right.
That's how it works. But it says we're not making any more. Well, you're making infomercials, so you got to be.
Whatever they said it.
Yeah.
We're not making it anymore.
Yeah.
Right. If
Well-
you sell out of these, I guarantee you're firing that factory back up.
You spent money. You spent money on a commercial. I bet you that you'll make some more. But anyway, this is their comment in there. It says the leading cause of death in people under 55 is roadside accidents. Okay. So I thought that seems very general. Okay. Roadside accidents. So I Googled. Okay. I Googled. According to Google, under 50 is intentional is a intentional or unintentional overdose. That's nothing to do with roadside. Okay, that's what it is. Men under 45, men now, just in men category, under 45, heart disease. Okay, but if you do your push-ups over a 10-year period, you'll probably be fine. We talked about that. As long as you can do 40 push-ups. So
Over a 10-year period?
yeah,
I got 2.
It was really like my wife said that was the best line in that whole episode was when you're like, how much time do I get? So it says all people under 45. Now now they put men and women together. So apparently women are really skewing this. Drownings and car accidents. Again,
that skewed it weird.
yes. So that was really weird. Okay.
Car accidents. All right, I get it. Drowning. Wait a minute.
So then I just Googled, I said, what kills most people? I didn't even care what age. So what kills most people?
Death.
Mosquitoes. Now that makes sense because it's probably in like third world countries.
Disease,
Right,
right, sure.
disease. Right? So my only way of thinking that this commercial is correct is if mosquitoes are somehow
Affected by these flares?
killing people on the roadside while they're waiting. Okay, that's the only way that if they're driving and they just kill an enormous amount of people between 50 and 55, mind you, because under 50, we already know what that is. So it's the 50 to 55 window. People are just dying like crazy on the side of the road.
Maybe that's how they caught those people from last week, is that it was the Department of Agriculture actually tracking the mosquitoes.
Yes.
And they're like, we keep seeing these 3 dudes.
Yeah.
You think we should alert someone about this?
They're going to kill somebody. They're going to kill somebody with that ham. that 7-day-old ham.
They keep going this way with trailers and bobcatting the other way. Now, the first 42 times, this does not trigger anything, but the 43rd to 35th, we're going to talk to someone.
But when you put something in your commercial, infomercial, whatever, and your statement is the leading cause of death in people under 55 is roadside accidents because you want to sell flares. False.
The leading cause of death by people who are killed in roadside accidents is roadside accidents.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think he loopholed us. I don't think we can get out of that one.
Ooh. Yeah, most of the people that died didn't have road flares, didn't have the lizard flares. Yeah. Do these have a force field? What do these do? Are these special? But yeah, it's such a weird and like dark thing to put in your commercial.
Yeah.
And totally 100% inaccurate, so, because, Google will tell you anything you want to know, generally, and some stuff you don't want to know.
Yeah, so does that, like, when you get, like, the same way the doctor was like, do you have any suggestions of what medicine you want? Like, no, I don't listen to those commercials. Yeah. It's the same, like, when the paramedics show up and the police, did you guys not ask about the road flares?
Did you guys not have lizard flares? What do we...
It's the leading cause of death between people 50 and 55. We Googled it.
They show up, the ambulance shows up, runs them over. You should have had some of them road flares. You were perfectly fine until we got here and hit you. So here, I got a couple of fun facts. First, I want to do something. I guess it's a fun fact, but it's kind of a neat thing. A Dutch designer is working with scientists to create glow-in-the-dark trees. Have you seen this?
No.
It replaces streetlights. First off,
how long would they glow, though?
It says they're made by crossing DNA from luminescent marine life and the DNA of plants.
Yeah, bioluminescence, sure.
Okay. So are they soaking up? Are they like solar power then? Are they soaking up the energy during the day?
Not the ones like in the deep water because they're so far down they don't get sun.
Right.
They just bioluminesce. They just glow on their own.
So wouldn't this thing glow?
Yeah, they glow all the time. You just wouldn't see it until the sun goes down.
Because they're saying glow in the dark trees. Well, they would glow during the day.
They would just be glowing trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember back when we were kids, could you imagine?
Yeah. So basically like, I can't go outside at all because I have to be home by the time.
By the time the trees come on?
Yeah. The trees are always on, Mom.
I found a flaw in this law here. But then my line underneath it, I wrote this. I was so proud of it. The forests are going to be lit. Huh? Come on, man. You got to give me that, huh?
You find us if that checks out. Yeah.
But I thought that was really weird. And they have a picture of it, which is probably just computer generated.
Yeah. That literally looks like 1,000 lights behind that shining up the tree.
Right. Yeah. So you backlit a tree in the middle of the forest. How'd you get the power? All right. So here's some fun facts then. We'll call that a fun fact because I think it's going to happen someday, but probably won't be around when we see it. Oh, we got a dumpster fire going on behind us. That's good.
And in front of us and in the microphone.
Yeah. So it says in England, to leave a party without saying goodbye is called a French exit.
Yeah.
Okay. In France,
it's the Irish goodbye here. But.
Yeah. In France, it's an English exit, and in the U.S., it's called the Irish goodbye.
Did I not just say that? Thank you.
Yeah. So I used it confidently all week.
I used it confidently just now.
That one sounds too real.
Today.
Which one?
I used it confidently.
It sounds like him actually talking.
Yeah,
I used it confidently all week.
Yeah, well, it's him talking, man.
Yeah. You know where we got that? We got that from me saying something.
You have a subpoena. I really thought that one of these buttons was going to say throat cloggers.
I can do that.
I'm not asking for it.
I got a lot of positive feedback from that. That was pretty solid. So
wait for what?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Throat cloggers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so much pain.
So
noted.
But what I think is funny, so leaving a party without saying goodbye is supposed to be ignorant, right?
Yeah.
So the French say English people are ignorant, and the English people go French people are ignorant. That's really.
I mean, that used to be one of my trademarks. It would literally just be like,
go. Yeah. Where'd he go? I'm David Copperfield.
Yeah, just be in the middle of talking to you.
Just a cloud. You got smoke bombs. Yeah. And you're creeping out. Stop making the noise, Ted. I see you leaving.
Take a right and then a right.
Well, this is awkward. The smoke's clear.
Yeah, I think to the point where Duffy, like for my bachelor party, was like, "I'll throw you a bachelor party, but you can't just disappear in the middle of it." And I was like,
Ooh, no promises.
I don't. Yeah, I literally was like, "No promises."
Yeah.
I am probably gonna leave. I guarantee you.
I might step out now.
Yeah, I'm already pretty much halfway out of that party.
All right. Someday I want to be this rich. This is great. In 1978, Richard Branson wanted to impress his girlfriend by pretending to buy a private island. The island was listed for $6 million. He offered $100,000 as a joke, and the owner settled at $180,000, and Branson bought Necker Island.
Wow.
First off, $180,000 in 1978, that's a pretty impressive amount of money anyway.
Still, but it's a lot less than $6 million.
Yeah. It makes you wonder,
You know
though.
what would be great? If it was like, hey, his wife is like, I need you to sell that island.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, but I'm gonna put him at $6 million because no one's gonna offer anything on it.
Right.
But she's like, okay, but you, no matter what the offer is, you got to take it. And he's like, fine, I'm gonna put $6 million. No one's gonna offer. Bridger Brand shows up. I'll give you 100,000. Oh no.
Yeah. I can't present this to my wife.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, bring her
How
out.
do you come down from 6 million? You know what? That sounds fair. How about, you know what? Let's not quite double it and I'll take it.
You know what though? But isn't that like the king of like garage sale techniques where you, okay, so what do you want? You want $200. I'll give you a nickel. You know? Yeah. If you give me a quarter, I'll load it in your car for you.
Yeah. Give me any offer. You won't offend me. Just give me any offer. I'll take it for free. Well, I'm kind of offended by that. You told me any offer. That's on you.
Liar.
That's not on me.
Liar. You, sir, are a liar.
Yeah, if you'd like to, Damon has a car for sale. If you'd like to check out Facebook.
Yeah. Hey, but I'll be honest with you. How awesome is that you like, so now you tell the chick, hey, I'm going to buy this $6 million island. You don't tell her you bought it for 180. You don't tell her that.
So it was not quite $1 million. It was 820,000 ish in 1978 was the equivalent.
Wow.
So is that funny? Is that how Richard Branson made his money? Like, did we get the Virgin Company because he accidentally bought an island?
I think he still owns that island. He owns.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
yeah.
That'd be funny if like that one transaction is what started off Richard Branson's empire.
Yeah. He just started taking loans off against this island.
He discovered gold. Did you ever go to this island? It's full of natural resources, man.
He gets there and there's two guys going, that's a honey hole. And he's like, oh no.
Oh, did I buy Oak Island?
Oh man. You guys gonna move the whole island over there? We're gonna dig this whole thing up.
Yeah, this isn't the original Oak Island. We dug it up and put it from over there to here.
Yeah, this is Cedar Island.
And now we're putting it back.
Yeah. All right, so, hey, you might know this one because you have a background working in movie theaters when you were younger. On average, the popcorn you buy at a movie theater is sold at a 1,275% markup.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We used to inventory the containers. The empty, be like, can I get an empty container so I can split it? No. That's how, like,
Really?
almost all money for movie theaters comes through the concessions. Because the longer a movie stayed, I don't know how it is now, but back when I was, the longer movies stayed in the house, you could get money on the back end of it. But like the first weekend, the second weekend, the third weekend, all that money goes to the studio. You get almost nothing off of that.
Really?
So all the money comes with the concession. That's why it's so much. It's because they're paying for the rent, the lights, the labor, the cleaning, which they don't do. All that comes from the money they get off the concession.
Well, that's why when I walk in the middle of June and I'm wearing a winter coat and I sound like as I walk, and you're like, is that guy? Does he have nerds certs? What's he have? Yeah, I have a whole candy counter in my pockets.
A Dollar Tree popped up between me and my favorite theater, and my theater just
it's
going to go out of business because of that.
It lost all of its revenue.
Because you can go in there and get the same, and now it's $1.25, but you can go in there and get the same movie theater box candy for $1.25.
It's $3.95 in the case or whatever.
Minimum.
Yeah.
And then you go to the theater and you're like, how can you prove I didn't buy these dots here?
Right.
Probably because they're fresh. That's probably the only way you would know. Squeeze one, and it squeezes. All right, I know you didn't get that here.
How can you say I didn't buy that here? Sir, that is a pot roast, and you are cutting it. You are cutting it. We don't even sell potatoes.
You say that there's these people that would walk in with pizzas, and I'm like, you can't bring that in here. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, there's no outside food. Now, if you're bringing candy, I can't be like, I know you didn't buy the candy.
Yeah, you don't shake them down. I
Most of the
hear
time,
candy.
I know you didn't buy that candy here.
Right.
But
you got the can.
But yeah, if you're popping a 6-pack, bringing in
I'm always looking
Domino's.
around in the theater when I do that, like I committed a crime or something.
Yeah, I still hear it. Like it still triggers me when I'm in a theater and I hear the I'm like,
Yeah.
you didn't buy that here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need you to leave.
I hope that's alcoholic. Otherwise, they're going to be
like
really
I told
mad.
you, I worked at the Dollar House at one point. We still had the old like stuff. Like they changed like the picture on the bags.
Yeah.
Like they updated it to the new logo and everything. Those are at the new houses. The old house, everything that was older, they shifted it to us.
Mm-hmm.
So we got everyone's like unopened cases of old cups and bags. And so we would do, it was either like 25-cent refills or free refills. I don't remember what it was. It was some sort of nominal price refills. This guy comes up and he's like, I need a refill. I'm like, you didn't buy that here. He's like, yeah, I did. You call me a liar? I'm like, yes, I'm actually calling you a liar to your face. And he's like, you can't prove that. And I literally would turn around, grab one of the containers that is not what he has. And I'm like, this is what we sell here. Look at what you have in your hand. He's like, damn. He just walked away. Like, bro,
Curses.
Yeah.
Foiled again.
you can't prove it. Really? I can't watch.
Did you Scooby Doo him and pull his mask off then too and be like, it's Mr. Sanders? So, but no, a 1,275% markup.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense.
crazy.
That makes sense.
Also, if you get popcorn if you go to a matinee in the morning,
Yeah.
be careful. That might not be popcorn pop that day.
Correct. Right.
It could be stuff overnight.
Yeah.
And they just put it in the warmer.
So here's my last fun fact, and this one probably checks out more than any fun fact I've ever given. Treadmills were invented to punish prisoners over 200 years ago.
That makes sense.
That checks out because I've been on a treadmill and there's nothing enjoyable about it whatsoever.
The hotel from last week, Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
You had to go check it because since COVID, they've been doing like you can't just walk into.
Yeah, schedule a time to do it, or
Well, you just have to it was weird. Like you just have to go down there and they unlock it for you. And I was like, hey,
Okay.
I just want to use a treadmill. I'm like, they're like, okay, let me in there, get everything. I got everything set up. I go to hit the thing. Treadmill doesn't work. And I know that they know this because someone has taped the button that like the connection. You know the safety thing where you pull it
so
out
the
and it
guy that
stops?
let you in there knew.
Someone knew. It wasn't
Right.
like this was made. It's not like someone like broke it, walked out, got a pad of paper from the room and wrote, this is kind of janky. Be careful with it. Came back in and taped that all up. No, someone there knew.
Yeah.
So then, I told you before, I don't like the elliptical because I don't know what it is. My brain will be fine, and then one rotation, one leg will like slow down like more than the other one, and I'll get that like where the like it like crushes my leg.
yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
My knee bent the other way.
Yeah.
Knees don't bend that way.
Yeah. No, if
But-
you're not used to that, you're
But
correct.
I did that. I literally did that for 45 minutes.
So you at least you're dedicated. You still did your cardio.
And then I go upstairs and I was like, "Hey, Mom, you're gonna have to self push because I just ruined my knees."
Yeah, Mom, I'm gonna sit down. You're gonna give me a turn.
Yeah.
So, but no, it makes sense.
wait.
It was for prisoners.
Morning. Ah! It's so creepy.
I've been gone for 2 hours.
Just staring at me.
Yeah.
Just get up. If I'm that tired, I'll go back to sleep.
Hey, Raisin Bran always works good. Like 1 or 2 in the morning. Yeah. Stand over the bed. Why is it raining? No, it's milk. It is splashing. It's shrapnel.
Eating the one cookie she said she didn't want.
Yeah. So it's weird too. So when you're at a bed and breakfast, they got all the bowls and stuff like that. So they have all these cereal bowls, well, like little bowls, like you would have cereal or ice cream or something at a normal person's house.
Right.
Not at my house. Okay. I find one big bowl that's like if you were like making popcorn, going to share it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cereal bowl. Okay. So I took that and I'm just like, hope nobody else wants popcorn because I now have this bowl. So yeah, I possess that as my own for 2 days.
Well, that was, and I get it. If I would have said, "Hey, I want to use the exercise room," fine. I was like,
Right.
"Hey, I want to use your treadmill." Oh, okay. Well, okay. Cool. And I brought my tablet and everything set up so I could tread flicks and everything and my headphones. Go to think.
Oh.
And I'm trying everything. I'm like, I go grab some paper towels and I try to like jam it under there so it like pushes the lever up. Because mine at home, if it breaks, it's just a magnet. I can just go get another strong magnet and put it on there. I've tested it. This one, it had a fulcrum where if it wasn't held all the way up in the right position, it wouldn't work. I couldn't, it was just so like, just tell me.
Zip ties and paper towel. You had to MacGyver, so you had to be MacGyver first thing in the morning too. I've
done it before. Like I fixed a sink at a La Quinta once, and I tweeted them and it was like, "Hey, just so you know, I fixed your sink. Well, please just let the front desk know." I'm like, "Does the front desk have tools? Because I could have fixed it before I got here." It wasn't like it was like I found a hidden flaw in your sink.
Yeah.
There was like the base wasn't connected at the bottom.
Yeah. No, sir, we don't keep any tools out of La Quinta. No, we don't.
No, we're just going to go over and ask the Clarion if they have any
Yeah,
tools.
first off, if you see the people we hire, we're not going to give them hammers or any kind of tools or saws. Right.
Sir, this is a La Quinta.
And you have the parking lot view.
Yeah.
So does everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the parking lot / interstate view.
Yes. Yes.
I told you when I used to stay in the one in outside of Davenport, I couldn't figure out why it was so busy at 2 a.m. Turns out they've been putting me in the one next to the strip club.
Nice.
Because the one time I finally parked on the other side of the building, and I was like, "Oh, what kind of facility do you think it is that's named Daisy Dukes with a Z?"
I'll take the non-clapping floor, please.
Hi, Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Do you still own the IP on the Dukes?
Yeah.
Because I've got news for you.
Yeah. What are you, Eagle Man now? I've got something for you.
Look at those low rates. Well, it is off the rails if that checks out.
So, hey, let's do a TCO of the week. And this is a man.
Wait.
Yeah. This is a man who sues Texas Pete's
the
hot sauce because it's made in North Carolina.
New York City. Remember those Pace commercials?
Yeah.
Well, and they literally like threatened to lynch that guy. New York City. And then someone's like, get a rope. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, this escalated real quick, man.
I don't know how important salsa is in your neck of the woods.
We could just not eat the salsa.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. Yeah. You want to murder this guy by hanging him. For not even for just bringing the salsa.
Yeah. He didn't even say, hey, I switched it out.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorite commercials when Chris Farley, when they switch the coffee on Saturday Night Live, and he's like, you son of a bitch. And he loses his mind. He didn't even make him drink it. He's like, we got this.
Presumably, Terry's showing, hey, honey, do we have any salsa? Yeah, I got some the other day. Just put it in your bag. Okay. And then he gets there and he's like, they have to call him. Hey, Terry's dead. Oh no, what happened? Did an animal get him on the trail? No, he brought non-paste salsa. So we murdered him.
Yeah. It's so great.
Don't you remember that in the Oregon Trail?
Worst part
It was the bears, starvation, or pace salsa.
Yeah. You have died of pace hanging.
Yeah, of dysentery. I love that. That's my favorite thing. You talk smack about Terry, you've died of dysentery. If you're a fan of hot sauce, it's pretty likely you've heard of Texas Pete's hot sauce. I have heard of it. But there's a dark secret about the sauce. Well, if you read the headline, it says Texas Pete is not actually made in Texas despite its name. The sauce is a product of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That revelation took one California shopper by surprise. Well, there's your problem, too. You're talking about they probably had a Whole Foods in California.
Yeah.
And they're like, this ain't even from Texas, He's got his draw. He's like, I need a taste of home. Well, God darn it, this ain't even from Texas. You know what I mean?
I'm going to go to this Ralph's.
Yeah.
Is this owned by Kroger? I bet they ain't got no pace in here.
So it says he paid a princely sum of $3 for the bottle and now rues the day he exchanged even a penny for it.
I'm going to need $81 million to compensate for the 8 drops of $3 hot sauce I got out of Texas.
Emotional trauma.
Emotional damage.
Well, sir, we have the time he missed from work. We have his lost wages. We have
the time he missed some work pacing around the kitchen going, some bitch. Some bitch.
He's got a neck brace on. How did you get that? Well, I read the label and I went, no. Yeah. And I jerked my head.
The whiplash from reading the label.
I couldn't even believe it. I moved my head
so fast. It says Texas right on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's your name? My name is Mississippi Willie. Where are you from? Nebraska. Case closed. Case closed.
No further argument, Your Honor. Mac's like, I got one more.
Wade what? Attorney at law.
Wade what? Attorney at law. So it says that he claims that Texas Pete manufacturer is using illegal false advertising to lull customers into thinking the sauce is a product of the Lone Star State. I've never once thought if it comes from a certain location, it's way better.
Well, does that mean I can sue Wendy's because my sister's not cooking up my burgers anymore?
First off, my sister's never made anything this delicious ever.
Yeah. She did make a good teriyaki burger when we were in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. I've never seen that on the Wendy's menu. No one likes a brag.
Last time I checked, your sister doesn't have red pigtails either. So, but I mean, hey, everybody goes through a crisis. I don't know what she looks like now. Maybe.
I thought that was hilarious when Dave Thomas used my hair and my sister's name.
Yeah.
to promote his business.
You never had pigtails either, but I'll give it to you.
That you know of.
Yeah. Don't you judge me. But it says, so basically, nothing Texas about it. The complaint filed by Clarkson Law Firm. Yeah. Don't you only take cases you think you can win?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hey, I'd like to put you guys on retainer. Why? We're going after Texas Pete.
I've been wanting a piece of that hot sauce industry for years. You know, it's like, what do you do? Maybe the attorney, maybe they're from Texas. So maybe they're offended by it too. Double suit.
Could be.
Double suit.
It is funny because when we were in Oklahoma City to settle a legal dispute. That's one of the reasons we were out there.
Yeah.
And someone was like, no, you have to have that done in Oklahoma because Oklahoma will not, this is the lawyer speaking, will not respect California law. Do you understand me? People in California will not tell Oklahoma what to do. Now let's go to lunch. I have a reservation at the Rib Crib.
Yeah, the Rib Crib. These didn't come out of a crib.
I mean, this guy was so like calm and like, because he's like 116 years old.
Yeah.
He's talking, and all of a sudden someone's like, well, can we just get that done in California, or do I have to come back out here? And he's like, well, Oklahoma will not respect California law when you're talking about land in Oklahoma. Do you understand that? I was like, damn.
You know they do land deals all the time when people not there, but it is what it is.
Are you just hungry for ribs, or are you that angry about it?
Do you have the thing called the internet? Are you familiar with that?
Okay, can I tell you a little story then about Texas Pete? Whoa!
Yeah. So it says White feels he was blatantly deceived by Texas Pete's product labeling. In fact, he goes so far to say that that he known the sauce wasn't Texan, he wouldn't have bought it. So you wouldn't have paid $3.
Yeah.
It says, this is in quotes, in making his purchase decision, White relied upon the language and images displayed on the front label of the product.
I mean, there is a guy with a 10-gallon hat and a lasso on the bottle.
At the time of purchase, he understood the product to be a Texas product. Had White known the product was not made in Texas, he would not have purchased it, nor would he have paid significantly less for it. So do you get to go up and dicker and be like, whoa.
Look, that silhouette Yosemite Sam on that bottle,
yeah.
If that wasn't on there, it'd have been $1.75 tops.
You sound like every trucker buying mud flaps. If that does not have a naked woman silhouette laying down, I swear to God, I'm giving you $1.75.
That label on there practically screamed out "Yeehaw" on it. You're going to tell me that's not from? I'm supposed to infer whatever the word is, ma'am, that is not from Texas.
Yeah. So
I need $81 million. What did he sue for? I didn't even listen.
I haven't got that far yet. It hasn't
brought it up. Okay.
No, but it says they're surprisingly.
Because it would be great if the lawyers for Texas Pete Company just walked up and like, here's 3.25, assumingly tax, and then just walked off. Case closed.
Here's $4.
Yeah.
You have now made a 33% return on your investment. Okay.
Here's $4. Go buy 2 bottles of Tabasco.
Yeah. He said there's surprisingly nothing Texas about Texas Pete's hot sauces. The complaint states. So it says, yes, the bold and underlined font is part of the original document. The lawsuit further claims the cowboy imagery used on the label further deceives. I don't even know. I'm gonna skip ahead down. It says defendants' illegal conduct will also continue to harm other law-abiding brands, including smaller companies in Texas who similarly seek to leverage their consumer demand for authentic Texas hot sauce, but won't play by the rules, reads the complaint. So he's fighting for the little man. Wow. It says, who is Texas Pete? We'll just have to wait and see if the lawsuit is successful.
I bet his name isn't even Peter.
We may see. So they're saying now, don't be surprised if Texas Pete is now called North Carolina Pete. Wow. Okay, they don't put any dollar amount in here, anything else.
Look, I ain't doing this for money. I'm doing this for the principle. If we don't see Carolina Pete on the shelves by next year, you can tell I've lost, and I don't even care anymore. Get a rope.
So it says here, when launching the sauce, the company's marketing advisor suggested the name Mexican Joe's Hot Sauce, referring to Mexico's famously spicy flavors.
Okay, so Texas Pete, definitely an upgrade.
However, Sam Garner, founder of the company, wanted an American name. Texas borders Mexico, and one of his son's nickname was Pete. So there you go. So he named it. After his son, and he didn't want to use.
Well, so there is a Peter involved. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Also, it feels like this is a product conversation we would have had where you're like, let's name it No.
Yeah.
Nope.
So you're saying throat cloggers. Did I say something wrong? I used it confidently all week. I did. I really did. F-Riz. But no. So again, it doesn't put anything in there about how much money he was seeking, what the final turnout was, or nothing.
So Mac just apparently Mac is getting paid by the Google search this week because it's just off the charts. Under the website carolinasauces.com.
Yeah.
Texas Pete's hot sauce.
Doesn't
seem like they're
by
hiding
the way.
It. Maybe he's rectified it already then.
Doesn't seem like they're hiding it.
Yeah. All you had to do was Google it, bro. You could have saved yourself $3. I like where he says, or paid significantly less. You don't go up to the register and go, hey, you want $3 for this, but I know it's not from Texas.
I see the sticker on the shelf says $3. Now,
what do you take for it?
I'm here to inform you this is not actually from Texas. It was not imported. It was made locally here in Charlotte.
Right.
I'll give you $1.25.
It's barely got any gas money behind it.
Yeah.
It's right here.
It did not travel.
Yeah.
The label costs that you have factored in to get this on your shelf are incorrect.
So our PSA for the week. Okay. If
Texas Pete is not made in Texas.
Yeah, if you're going to make a hot sauce, make sure that you locally brand it to whatever region you're really from. Okay? Let's do that.
Or just don't put a region on it. Yeah, because Mac, thank you. If we call our hot sauce dumpster fire hot sauce.
Dumpster fire. Yeah.
What if the guy assumes, did you guys make this in a dumpster?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Does it taste like it?
Is that what you want, sir?
Yeah. What do you
Because I can take the bottle in your hand, put it in the dumpster, bring it back out. Ta-da!
Yeah. How we ship it. How we ship it.
Yeah. I could just push it around an airport.
Yeah. Street surface marinara, sir. That's what we have in Pump 7.
That's what we have.
That's what we have in Pump 7.
We do street marinara and Alfredo.
So here, I got a
glass is extra.
The crunch. Would you call it rustic? Yeah. So why do so many bikes? This is our strange story. You want to do strange story?
Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? Wait,
this is. Okay, sounds good.
Oh.
Yeah, you have two inadvertently you have two wait whats on the board, Mac. So
So it says
I just DJ'd wait what for you.
He went 2-1-2, 2-3. That's what he did.
2-1-2.
See, somebody gets it.
Yeah. So Billy Idol gets it. All right. So strange story. Why do so many bikes end up underwater? The reasons can be weird and varied.
Are these people buying bikes and then like suddenly they're worth less after they buy them?
I don't know.
Like homes get underwater that way?
It says when you glance into a waterway, you probably expect aquatic life and the occasional piece of trash. Okay. Well, okay. I'm sorry, but I don't
even know you went swimming.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're talking about the guy under the overpass selling
Snorkel?
socks.
Are they saying people just get upset and throw bikes in the?
It says, but the reality, many urban metropolises.
I did see a guy that did. He did. I don't remember what. He was in some park in a city, and he kept going. He was like scuba diving, looking for like treasure.
Yeah.
He kept coming up with bikes.
Really?
Yeah.
So he said, but lurking beneath the surface of the waterway could be an astounding number of bicycles. It's a strange social phenomenon that has forced bike-sharing companies to fish out thousands of their rental bikes.
Yeah, that's what he kept pulling up with. He kept pulling up like bikes. They were the rental ones for sure.
All right. It says rental company in southern China. Or no, a rental company simply stopped business in Rome because too many of the bicycles were thrown into the Tiber? Right? I think that's what it is. In Amsterdam. 15,000 bikes were pulled from the canals each year. Bro, if you're renting bikes and you're not getting them returned, you just putting more bikes out?
Yeah.
Oh, man. They'll turn up. And you just put more out on the rack? What do you do?
Great. The board of directors calls up. Hey, so what are we short? 15. Oh, just 15 bikes?
Sure.
Not quite.
Yeah. Hey, add a zero. 150?
1,000.
But it says it's a number that's actually improved over the past years. Why have so many of these wheeled vessels met a watery grave?
Well, that's someone who just was bored.
Yeah. So it says, writer for New York Times Magazine. He's the author of Two Wheels Good, the history and mystery of the bicycle.
Do you know that Amsterdam is one of the most, just like Paris, has thousands of cameras everywhere. It's one of the most like covered cities in terms of surveillance.
Probably because it has a
How
lot
are
of
they not
seedy
seeing
stuff.
15,000 bikes go into the water?
it's that one corner.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Oh, you know that one corner at work where you can go adjust your adjust your pants?
Yeah.
Or check if your fly's down?
Yeah.
Like everyone knows, hey, that one corner where these two rivers meet?
Yeah.
No camera.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Guess what I'm going to do? Boom, boom,
Full of bikes.
Yeah. It's just a line of people just throwing bikes.
Maybe they got a killer ramp right there. And they don't swim the bike back in.
Just before you get to that camera dead zone, there's a sign that says, you ever take that bike off any sweet jumps?
So it says, the guy that wrote this book is saying this is a phenomenon that came to my attention first because I started to see news items from various places. You know, a city bike here in New York City, where I live, turned up at a docking station, kind of blistered with oysters and barnacles. I started Googling around online and noticed this was a very widespread phenomenon on at least 3 continents. So it's definitely a widespread problem. But the extent of the problem, I think, is sort of by definition unknown because, after all, it's hidden. I mean, there are bikes literally covered by waterways, so they don't know how many are in there. Aren't you responsible? Don't you do something, pay with a credit card? I mean, you just bought the bike you threw in the canal.
Yeah, at least in New York and Chicago, the only place I've actually been near the pavement.
Yeah.
There's a kiosk at the end of the line of 50 some bikes.
Yeah.
You put in your payment and then you walk down and it unlocks the bike and you go get it.
You know where this would work? At a gas station / pizza place in Indiana, where you get to take the bike first and pay when you bring it back.
Or
That's where it would work.
maybe not, because maybe people are just sitting on the bikes eeating pizza.
Yes. In front of the gas pumps.
Yeah, and you're just waiting there like, I can't get gas or get a bike.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's going on? Can I get a pizza? No, we're making their pizzas.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
can we get a pizza? No, I'm taking gas money right now.
Yeah.
Well, can I get it after that? No, then I got to rent some bikes. And
Yeah.
there's paperwork for that. Mama John only has 2 hands, Damon.
Mama John. I did like that name. Wow. There's lots of videos you can see where people are tossing bikes into waters and taking videos of it for fun.
So they do have video of it.
But what I'm saying, no, people are doing it themselves.
Yeah, no, I get it, but they're it's out there.
So here's the thing, too. Okay, we grew up at the right time. We already know this. We grew up, we had enough technology to have fun, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't have enough technology to
Where
be
everything-
incriminated.
Yeah, everything we did was on camera, sure.
Right. There's no proof of stuff I did when I was 16.
Speaking of which, we're recording this right after Halloween.
Yeah.
Based on my very minimum internet searching on November 1st, apparently it was either no one had kids at their houses and had bowls of candy left, or kids would just go up and steal all the candy that was in the bowl. Those are the 2 options. I saw nothing else.
Yeah.
No one had a happy Halloween.
Yeah.
It was either I paid $800 for candy that no kid showed up for, or I paid $800 for candy where the second kid just dumped it into a bag. And the reason why we know that is because everyone has Ring cameras now, and it wasn't stopping the kids. It was just getting a good picture of the middle finger kids were giving as they were stealing the candy.
So we went out trick-or-treating.
I feel you stole candy.
Yeah, no, we didn't. My wife wanted to leave a bowl on the porch. I said, first kid's going to take the whole thing. So Chuck wanted to hand out candy when he got home from practice.
Yeah.
So I said, when you get home, you put the garage door up. I already set up a table with the stuff so he could put the garage door up and hand out candy. So by the time he gets home, there's only about an hour and a half left. He probably had 10 or 15 trick-or-treaters because the real bulk of it was earlier, right? But anyway, so he has some guys he knows from school that come up. And he's a sophomore. And his buddy's sitting at the table with him as a sophomore, my buddy Jeremy's kid. And they walk up and they want to trick or treat. Well, they're not in costumes, right? And he goes, "You guys aren't in costumes." He goes, "I'm not going to give you candy." He goes, "You're not in costumes, right?" Now, the one kid had a costume on. He goes, "I'll give you some candy. You got a costume on, right?" And so this kid that's with him, that goes to a different school, who thinks he's big and bad, he goes, he literally tells him, he goes, "You give me some candy or I'll kick your ass right now." That's what he says. Now, he's standing in my driveway talking to my kid. The kid he's with, the freshman, looks at him and goes, "No, you won't. That's Chuck." He goes, "Walk away."
Oh. Hey, Mac, this was just a whole subterfuge story, so Damon can talk about his kid again.
No, but I start laughing because he was the he's the Halloween bouncer. You don't have a costume.
Candy.
Yeah, so when you say either this or this, no, we gave out some, but apparently he didn't give out all of it because you didn't have a costume on, whatever else.
I would have just been like, hey.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing is that I look out. Trick-or-treating was 4 to 7:30 or 4:37. I don't know.
Yeah, like 4 to
But
7.
I look at about halfway through and I'm like, "Ooh, that bowl's pretty low," because we just put it out there. I'm done. I don't care anymore. We just put a bowl out and said, "Do what you want."
Yeah, when it's empty.
And I look out and I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of low," so I go and fill it up because it's not even 6 o'clock yet, so there's quite a bit of time left.
Yeah.
I see Tina going, "Just one, please," and I'm like, I didn't put the whole bag out. I still have 3/4 of a bag. Let them take whatever they want.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to be eating all of this.
Now I have the killer. I have diabetes. I have a bowl of death on my counter now because Tina was like, one Skittle, just one individual Skittle. I'll just go ahead and do it. We can find us at that checks out.
I wasn't done with my story.
I'm sorry. Music's playing. Music's playing. I'm not paying for another 3 hours. You can find us at that checks out. WDT. WDT stands for With Damon and Ted. I'm Damon.
What about
That's
the bikes?
Ted.
I never found out about the bikes.
I don't think anyone's going to find out about 15,000 bikes. That Checks Out has been a TCO Productions. If anyone checked, I did say I was Damon and he was Ted, but he didn't pay attention because that's what we're at right now.
I'm sorry, I'll have the steak.
That's right. I had the lasagna.
I used it confidently all week. 15,000 bicycles.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna say
That's how I sample biscuits and
That's
gravy.
what I call copyright infringement.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's definitely all 3 strikes in one.
Yeah.